Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that's dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. Believe it or not, this is the 9th installment of my What I Eat in a Day videos. I'm still doing some of these to serve as a little bit of inspiration and to give you guys some ideas as to what a typical OMAD meal might look like for myself. We're all a little bit different and we're all going to approach this in a different way. But believe it or not, I still get requests for videos like this. I don't know what the main appeal is for it or not, but if you guys request it, this is something that you guys enjoy seeing and you get some good value out of it, well then so be it. Now the theme for this particular video is going to be my OMAD Meals Quarantine Edition. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're all quarantining right now, and that means that, I'm getting in some fresh food, I'm getting in what I can get, but at the same time, I'm also going through that pantry and I'm trying to utilize whatever I can to make a meal. This is one of the amazing benefits of OMAD is, we're not bound to one particular diet or one exact set of rules. We can be very flexible with our OMAD meal because we have the fasting period. To get through, especially in a situation as we find ourselves in right now with the way food is in some markets being a little bit on the scarce side or maybe funds, we can put together what we have available in our pantry. We can raid our refrigerator, our freezers, and we can make ourselves tasty meals and at the same time not be wasteful. So I'm going to take you through a series of meals I've shot myself, that I shot myself, and these are some just typical weeknight meals that I put together. Some of the items I had was able to get in on like an Instacart order, and then there are other items that I just had around the house that I wanted to get around to using. So we're going to look at this first meal right here, and I do apologize. I usually do the calorie counts for these, and I have it all kind of laid out, but on this particular video, I don't. So this first meal, I had some New York strip steaks, a couple of strip steaks I found in my freezer, so I took those out, and I have a New York strip steak here with a little bit of hot sauce. I've got some oven roasted potatoes, kind of a home fries. My kids that night had mac and cheese, so what I made was a larger pot of it, and I just scooped myself out a little portion of that's what you see in the top left hand corner. I had just a simple iceberg tossed salad and a large apple sliced. So all around, this was a really healthy meal. I think not pictured in this picture right here is I had a small glass of wine. I usually have a glass of red wine with my meal at night. Occasionally I have a beer. Occasionally it might be juice for my 1 caloric beverage, but that was not pictured in this video. In this picture. That was not represented. And those are usually a 4 or 5 ounce pour, which is generally 125 to 150 calories. So right here, for the most part, other than the macaroni and cheese, we have a mostly whole food meal here. This was quite a large amount of food for me to eat. Yet I still, I have to go back and kind of put everything into my calculator here, but I still think I was under 1,700 calories on this meal. And this was a lot. This was a nice hearty meal. Okay, and next up, something I hadn't had in a long time. I had 4 hot dogs, a little bit of mustard, using up some more of the potatoes. I did another version of home fries, going to cut them in a little bit different fashion with a little bit of different seasoning on there, but a lot of the fresh produce I don't want lingering around forever, so instead of having pre-made French fries, I just did some home fries with it. A nice bowl of grapes. Pictured here is about 4 or 5 ounces of red wine for my caloric beverage. Again, I don't have the calorie counts for these meals, but this was a lot of food to eat, and again, I'm mixing a little bit of processed food with a little bit of food that's more whole food, and like I say, this was, again, I find the hot dogs in the freezer, so I make a couple of hot dogs for the kids and get rid of the rest of the package, utilizing what you have on hand. I'm not being bound by any particular set of food rules that I must eat this, or I must only eat quote unquote healthy. I'm eating meals like this, and I'm still maintaining my weight, and I'm still in a nice healthy weight range. So it's good to have something like this and have a little bit of fun with your OMAD every once in a while. All right, so next I made a kind of a homemade rotisserie chicken. I got a whole chicken in, seasoned it, slow roasted it. That's about a half a chicken right there. Got some chicken leg and a little bit of the breast meat. Kind of hard to see, but that is a potato gratin with cheddar cheese and some carrots. I've got a couple of homemade chocolate chip cookies and another glass of red wine. And there was a little bit of some homemade gravy for the roast chicken. Made it go down really well. It's another favorite weeknight meal, especially for my wife. The two of us really, we love this. We'll kill pretty much a whole chicken between the two of us and the kids, and sometimes we have a little bit left over. Maybe we'll make some chicken and cheese quesadillas or something, later on in the week. But now the chocolate chip cookies are homemade, and I may do a video on this later. But what I do is I make a batch of let's say chocolate chip cookies. Okay, I'll make a batch of them. I'll scoop them into round balls, and then I'll freeze them, and then I'll put them into a Ziploc bag, keep them in the freezer. And then when I'm in the mood for some fresh baked cookies, I'll take out maybe 4 or 5 of the balls, put them on a sheet tray, cook them in the oven, and you have fresh baked cookies, but you have like just enough, so you can't really do that much damage. When you cook off the entire batch of cookies, the problem you run into is that you have this, a dozen or 2 dozen or so cookies just kind of staring at you every time you walk by them. It makes you that much more tempted to eat them. And so I do it this way, and I may do a video on that at some point too, and I'll even give you my chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's my favorite. Doing it this way too makes sense in the fact that, who doesn't love fresh baked cookies? The cookies are still good 2, maybe even 3 days or 4 days down the road, but there is nothing like still slightly warm homemade chocolate chip cookies for if you are going to have a dessert. So that's how I do here that. We go again, kind of a recurring theme. So we had another one of the steaks that I found. This was about a week or so later from the last steak that I found from the freezer. Also that night found a couple of French bread pizzas in the freezer too. So there you go. You have steak, a little bit of pizza, kind of an oddball meal. I have a tossed salad, some more of the homemade fresh baked cookies. So all in all, I'm under my calories. I'm having a little fun with this now. As you can see, I'm kind of abandoning the whole there has to be a set direction with some of these meals, especially for the weeknights when you're working, you're busy, and that this is why I call this video the theme is quarantine. You're using what you have available in the house. You find some things, you kind of put things together, like, okay, I have a main protein, I have a little bit of starch in the sense of the pizza, or maybe I have some extra rice or whatever. You're incorporating vegetables. There really is no rules, and the sky is the limit. As long as you're flexible, you will be fine. Don't get too hung up on, well, I have to be a subscriber to this particular type of diet or there. Again, I'm having fun with this, and I'm eating the foods I like. I'm eating things that are tasty. These are just some quick, very simple to put together meals that I use during the week, just to get some food on the table. And I'm loving it. I'm having a great time with this. So this is again kind of an oddball combination. It's not a very well thought out and composed meal in the grand scheme of things, but still within my calories, and I definitely enjoyed it. Okay, this will be the last one in the series here. So here I have a pulled chicken and cheddar melt. Again, some of that leftover rotisserie chicken that I had, this is what I decided to do with it. I took that, mixed it with just a little bit of cream cheese, a little bit of ranch seasoning, just a pinch of sour cream, and mixed in some cheddar cheese, put it on the bread, and I have a little griddle pan that I made a little melt with it. Those next to it, I had some onions that were starting to get a little bit soft, so I made some fresh homemade fried onion strings. I've got a garden salad. We were able to get some deliveries in my house from a local farm, and they're starting to get in some really nice lettuce, so I took advantage of that. I got a couple of bags of this stuff, and I'll incorporate that in pretty much every single meal for the rest of the summer. Sometimes my OMAD will just be a salad with a little bit of protein and maybe something else to go with it, because I love lettuces like this. I don't need to have 100 things in my salads either. I just good quality lettuce, a nice fresh homemade vinaigrette, maybe a crouton here or there, one or two other vegetables, and I'm good. I got some grapes. Again, you get some produce in. I want to make sure I utilize everything I can, and grapes are great because you could eat about 100 of them, and they have almost no calories. A glass of red wine is right next to that, and then a Hershey bar. Another video I'm going to do too, once this whole lockdown quarantine thing is kind of subsided a little bit and it's a little easier for me to do, I'm going to take a little field trip into a gas station or a little Corners bodega in my town, and show you when I'm in the mood for some junk food, what I look for, how I look for it, and what I want to get. There's nothing wrong with having these as a little treat. If you decide, okay, well today in my OMAD I want to incorporate maybe a Hershey bar, or maybe some Oreo cookies or whatnot, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that every so often. I definitely do it and I enjoy it. I know a lot of other people do it out there as well. But you want to do is get something that's kind of like prepackaged like this, and small, as opposed to buying a large amount of Hershey bars, or you see the Hershey miniatures and they sell them in the big bag, and you end up you want to, when it comes to junk food like that, you want to make it as inconvenient as possible. So I'll get like 1 bar or 2 bars at a gas station, and that'll be worked into a meal at some point during my week. Or let's say I really have a hankering for Oreo cookies. I'm not going to buy a box of Oreo cookies where there's 50 of them in there, and I'm going to walk by them, and every time I go near my pantry, they just stare at me and just tempt me. No, I'm not going to do that. So what I'll do is I'll go to one of those corner grocery stores, the corner bodega, wherever it happens to be, and I'll get a small package of them. And then this way here, you have 4, or if you have 6 of them at one time, oh well, guess what? You're done. As soon as they're gone, you have them at that meal, they're done. You walk away, you forget about it, and you go on with your life. You've enjoyed your little snack, and there's nothing left over that you could walk by and tempt you. And sometimes, again, when you have it in smaller, it's like when I was talking about the homemade chocolate chip cookies earlier on in this video. When you have it fresh, and it's not there all of the time, then it becomes a real treat. It's something special, you know, when you have it there and you buy that box of Oreo cookies that they have, I don't even know how many are in there, 50, 100, 75, I don't even know, I never really counted, but you don't, it's natural to not want to throw away food and let it go to waste. I mean, it's only natural. I mean, you're not going to buy a box of Oreo cookies, eat 4 of them, and then just hold them there for another week or however long, and then hope they stay fresh and don't get stale. And if they do, just throw them out. I mean, you don't we don't want to throw away food, and we want to utilize what we can, but at the same time, we don't want to sit there all day eating, and we don't want to sit down and eat 4,000 calories worth of cookies or candy bars or whatever it is for our meals. That's just stupid. So that's my take on it. And, you know, I every now and then I'll get an email getting some flack from people saying, oh my God, I can't believe you showed a candy bar, or you have cookies, or, you know, why are you having dessert, you know, because I'm human. And, you know, I can't imagine going through life not being able to enjoy stuff once in a while. You know, that's just my personal philosophy. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have a good time. But I'm going to do so in a way that's controlled, that I control. And I'm going to do so in a way that's intelligent and on my terms. So as a general rule, I try not to have any more than 10% of my day's calories as a dessert if I'm going to incorporate a dessert into my meal. But if I go a little bit over, then that's okay. But I the next day and the next day after that, I probably won't have one. Again, I want to keep it special. I wanted to keep it a treat. And I don't want you guys to think either that I'm just some junkie on junk food. I am a professional cook. I've been a chef for almost 20 years now, and you do love junk food. There are sometimes it's natural to love a good candy bar, or a good Oreo cookie as an example. But I really do put way more value on, say, a homemade pie or homemade dessert, or some homemade bread, or whatever it may be. But again, those are treats. And you have to remember that you do this on your term. You're in control. You're the one that is in charge here. So, you try it out. If it works for you, great. If it's not really working for you, then tweak it out or get rid of it entirely. But, ultimately, for me, life is too short to say, I'm never going to have sugar again, or I'm never going to have something that may be considered fattening again. Come on, life is too short. But I want to have as long of a life as I can, so that's why I'm doing OMAD. That's why I'm going to be smart and responsible with this. So that's the end of my rant on that. I hope you understand and you can see my point of view as to why I do that. And I think we're going to stop there. I think you guys get a pretty good idea for this video. Now, I am going to do another video very soon of what I eat in a day. And it's going to be specific to the OPAD variation. Again, when you want to really cut down and you really want to take that weight off, or you want to get a little bit of a leg up, I'll stick to the OPAD variation, the 1 plate a day. I'll stick to that for as little as 2 weeks, and you'd be surprised how much an extra couple of pounds will just poof, gone, come right off. But I want to show you how I approach it and what it looks like, and it'll be a video of all 1 plate a day OMAD. So that'll be coming out very soon, along with a bunch of other topics. Hopefully get those recorded and get it out soon too. But I'm going to sign off for today. That is it for me. I thank you guys very much for watching and tuning in and subscribing. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. I hope you have a very great week. Very happy OMAD, and be well.